and don't complete the whole program? Well, one is money, so it's £305 a month now. Now, how I did it, I bought the prerequisites, all of them, had them in the cupboard, and they stayed in the cupboard for a year. Then I started to push myself after that year, and then spent money going backwards and forwards to California, backwards and forwards to Eastbourne, wherever the courses were being held. So the reason why a lot of them give up is because, one, it works out to about 35k to get to level 5, but then if you add travel, food, books and other stuff that you need like equipment, it's probably around about 40k. So £40,000 is a massive investment if you're already a physio, already a doctor, or already some type of a professional. So really important to understand that people get cold feet. It's lots of work. It's very intense. It's quite brainwashing, really, from a point of view. I watched some of the videos 4 or 5 times in which to get it in my head. And even a doctor or a physio would find it still quite complex and in depth, which is great. I love that about what I learn. And I know that somebody walks in towards me, I can see all what's wrong. But it took time to get to that level and experience in which to get to that level of over 27 years of training people and 35 years of working out myself. But the reason why many give up is because they realise it's really difficult to sell in the gym or sell to a client. Now, if they're working with other C.H.E.K practitioners, it's easy. It's a walk in the park, because they get it, they understand it, they like the woo-woo stuff, and they're really open to it. Now, I've had clients say to me, Scott, I don't want you to do any of that woo-woo stuff on me. I just want you to train me. Okay. Then 6 weeks down the line, I say, look, we know each other, we've got some results, but to get to the next level, I need to do some woo-woo stuff. Are you up for that? Yes, I am, Scott, definitely 100%. Because we've built trust and rapport. And I think a lot of guys, especially in 2000, that got into the personal training world, they hadn't been training for 35 years like me. They'd just started training and thought, right, I want to become a PT because the money's excellent and I train and I enjoy it, so I think I'm going to be good at it in the gym. So with the C.H.E.K business model, really, they don't care whether you do level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, because they're still earning no matter what. Does that make sense? So they don't force you to sign a 5-year contract in which to get all the in-depth knowledge and to make sure you go to the top. So what you've got to ask yourself is that many people quit on their degree. Halfway through their degree, oh, this is not for me, it's bullshit, I'm leaving. And some of them people become very successful entrepreneurs because they can see the bullshit behind it. So for me, I just wanted to be the best at what I did and to be known to be really good at what I do. And that was important to me, to get the up-to-date, the best knowledge in the world. And the way that the C.H.E.K Institute is marketed, you think it's the best in the world. But it isn't. The reason being, if you look at all the pictures that Charles Poliquin had of Olympic athletes around his gyms that he owned, every single wall space had an athlete on it. I went to the C.H.E.K Institute in San Diego. There was about 5 images on the wall of certain athletes or different people that Paul had worked for. And I was thinking, this is a bit weird. Why has he not got 500 athletes that he's worked with? So that made me think a lot. And then with the C.H.E.K Institute, the old C.H.E.K Institute, it was fucking ginormous. But when they taught HLC level 3, we was in a piddly little room and the massive gym was just left open with nobody using it. And I was thinking, wait a minute, he's got this huge fucking gym. Why hasn't he not got 10 practitioners or 5 practitioners in the morning, 5 practitioners in the afternoon, 5 practitioners in the evening, using that gym floor space so he would make even more revenue? They would learn from the guru, he don't like being called that, and it would look really good on videos. that he's actually got practitioners working in his facility. Now, as far as I know, at the time when I was getting into it, only JP Sears was working for Paul. And I was like, wait a minute, why is that? Oh, and maybe Emma Lane was there because I got on really well with Emma Lane. Beautiful, lovely soul, beautiful, lovely woman. And she helped me with lots of stuff. She was absolutely brilliant. So if you need a really amazing woman to work with you, get in touch with Emma Lane. I don't know what she's doing now these days. But really important to remember that when I travelled all the way to San Diego, I had to use the gym that was near my hotel. The institute was a 20-minute walkway or 15-minute walkway up this big fucking hill, but we wasn't allowed to use the gym. And he went, oh, people would damage my gym. No, we wouldn't. We'd be 100% respectful. Well, I would anyway. I'd be like, I'm training in the guru's place. Oh, wicked, fantastic. But he didn't allow us to use the gym until level 4. And I'm like, what the fuck is all that about? Surely you would say to your students that are paying you nearly £40,000 or 35k now, of course you can go and use the gym whenever you want, it's fine. But we were banned from using the gym. And most of us had travelled from England, Denmark, Australia, all different parts of the world, and we had to go and use this shit bodybuilding gym down the road, and we couldn't use Paul's gym. And I'm like, what the fuck is all this about? I just didn't get it. I just don't understand it. You know, I've trained at Wag Bennett's gym where Arnold used to train, and all the world best bodybuilders. I used to pay a fiver to go in there and train, but I had to travel from Basildon in Essex to get to Wanstead Park to go to Wag Bennett's gym. Unfortunately, it's been burnt down now. It was in a church. It was fantastic. You had all these bodybuilding legends like Frank Zane, Luther Ringo, Arnold, Flex Wheeler, all these great names in bodybuilding and lifting. So when I was in the C.H.E.K Institute gym, like, because we was allowed to walk around but we weren't allowed to use it, I was looking at the equipment and I was thinking, this is the way you set up a gym. But why was it always fucking empty? And why didn't he not let any of his students that had travelled halfway around the world and wouldn't let them use it? Complete fucking ego nonsense, godlike, whatever you want to call the nonsense, godlike, whatever it is. I just thought that's really fucking bad, especially when we're paying him huge amounts of money in which for him to lecture, teach us and go through the process. Now, HLC level 3 was absolutely superb. He showed us some amazing things that I'd never ever seen before, which was really brilliant. So I can't cane the course, but I can cane the ego of Paul not letting his own students that have travelled around the world use his gym. What the fuck is all that about? I just don't get it. I just don't understand that. And I saw Penny, and Penny was running around like a headless chicken. Paul was running around like a headless chicken. And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, hang on a minute. You teach us to chill, meditate, relax, don't be stressed. But they were more stressed than the fucking students. And this is when I started to see a little bit of the fakery of the Institute. Saying one thing, then doing another. Like if you look at Paul's teeth, he's got a massive gap on one side. He's got a gold tooth, the same as me. And he said a while ago that if you've got teeth issues and you've got a tooth that's missing, you should get one put in there because it will affect the jaw alignment. Yeah, that makes 100% sense. But Paul, why haven't you done it yourself? It's making you look like a hypocrite. It's like I see him in Eastbourne and I was looking at his feet and his toenails were green. And I think he heard me say this in my own mind because he can do that. He's very clever at that. And all of a sudden, he wears Vivo barefoots all the time, covering his feet up. And I'm like, wait a minute, he said that he's got dystemic fungus. But if you're the guru, surely you know, or you're the head of the institute, surely you know how the fuck to get rid of that. It's just all these little things just didn't make sense at all. And then, like recently learning, if you watch the video linked to this, that I'm taking them to court. How can the Institute have £32 million estimated in their bank account, and then Paul's saying on videos, oh, he's tired, oh, he's stressed, oh, Heaven House is costing him lots of money? But how can it cost you lots of money when, on average, on that 32 estimated million pounds, on average per month, he's banking £100,000? So if he's banking £100,000, even once he's paid, well, they don't pay the staff, they get them to work for free for a little bit of paper and to do the course online that costs them fuck all, which is totally illegal in the UK and totally illegal in the US, which is absolutely crazy. Why would you even do that to your people? You would look after them. You would go, right, you're my gold dust. Like, my accountant was absolutely brilliant. I would buy him gifts and I would say thank you for the wonderful work that you've been doing for me. Because I believe that, and the same with my clients, I take them out for dinner, expensive dinner, not cheap places, not McDonald's, the best places. And one of my clients, he liked whiskey. I didn't stop him drinking whiskey. That's what he enjoyed doing. I went and bought him a £150 bottle of whiskey, just to say thank you for being my client and thank you for working with me and thank you for keeping my business alive. And this is what I don't understand about the C.H.E.K Institute, is that if you've got 100 grand at the end of every month because of the estimated 32 million you got in the bank, you should never be on any video complaining about you haven't got enough money and Heaven House is too expensive. And then what I heard was, whether this is true or not, I don't know, Heaven House has a mortgage, Penny pays the mortgage, Paul pays the mortgage, Angie pays the mortgage. So all three are paying the mortgage, so that means it's even cheaper. Can you see my point? So I don't understand why they're in videos complaining about money when they have this 100k at the end of every month that is expendable cash on themselves. And if they split the 32 estimated million among the 6 of them, they would all have, I think it was 5 million or no, £1 million each in their bank balance. So the other thing that I think about is that if you've got 32 million pounds estimated in your bank account, Paul is 63, 64, Gavin Jenkins is 54, he's a year younger than me. I don't know what Angie or Penny's ages are, but you got to think you may have the next 20 years left. So just having £1 million in the bank means that you've never got to worry about anything. But yet you're putting bullshit out there, not Penny, not Angie, and not are putting BS out there in videos. Oh, we're poor. Oh, we can't afford this. Oh, we can't afford to do that. It's all complete and utter nonsense. And this is what really angers me. When I found out that Gavin had 30,000 in assets and then he had over estimated 32 million pounds in the bank, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? When I heard, I don't know how true this is, I heard on the grapevine that when he's lecturing to students, oh, you must buy this, oh, you must get that, oh, you must get that, and you must get this, and you must get that. And one of the students said to me, Scott, I'm so pissed off of it. It's just money, 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 money all the time. Why would you be money, 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 money all the time when you've got 32 million pounds estimated in your bank account? There's something completely wrong with upstairs. In my opinion, it could be completely wrong. You could say, well, they've worked really, really hard for that money, Scott, and they've really put a lot of stuff out there to help change the industry. Now, when I was doing my level 4, Paul had a stack like that of people that have been using his stuff. And he said, they've been using my stuff and they're not paid me any money. They've been using my stuff. It's really bad. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, I didn't know about the 32 million then, estimated, but I was thinking to myself, well, one, it's a huge compliment, and two, everything you put out there is copied from other people. Even How to Eat, Move and Be Healthy, a guy did the original book, which I've got here. I'll do another video on that. And then Paul ramped it up and made it really amazing and made How to Eat, Move and Be Healthy. And he admits that he got that from that. And every course that I've done, I've got the manuals still today. And in the manuals, it has all the different books that Paul has read, which is amazing. I've got no problem with that. But to have a go at people for copying your stuff, when what you've done is copied all your stuff from other people in the first place. So what do you think poetic justice or karma would be? Oh, karma would be where you're copying other people's stuff, so other people are going to copy your stuff. It's just absolutely crazy. And Charles Harlequin said, before he passed, God rest his soul, and he said that most of the fitness industry information about strength, conditioning, exercise is over 50 years old. So it's all just repeated jargon or put another spin on it. Let's sell this, let's sell that. Does that make sense? Then the biggest thing that I need to tell you about is that when you reach level 5, like I did, I got a nice card off of Paul that I've got here still today, and I've still got my certificate. The one that I ripped up wasn't the real certificate, obviously, because I worked fucking hard for that and put a lot of money into it. But when you get to level 5 or level 4, he's on the board and there's about that much stuff that you need to learn and put it all together. So really, any client that's a 3-month client or a 6-month client, it ain't going to work on. It's only going to work on the client that's committed, that's been with you for 6 years. Does that make sense? And then they've added even more stuff to it. So Paul's like a machine, like a robot, not like AI, he wouldn't like that. He's like a robot doing more and more and more and more courses. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, can't you see? It's just information fucking overload. And this is why the C.H.E.K practitioners are not successful in the gym, or their own facility ends up closing down. So a facility in Wimpole Street closed down, a facility in Chelmsford, Essex closed down, another one in central London closed down. And the reason why they all closed down is because they're shit at marketing. You can't find them on YouTube, or you can't find them in the Google search. So unless you're really highly ranked in the Google search, you're not going to be found for elite athletes or people like that. And obviously, if the Institute's got 1,000 practitioners, they can't refer to everybody. They can only refer to their favourite faculty, who not even walk in their talk half the time. So you got to remember that as well. So the reason why these gyms failed, and this happened to a friend of mine, and his gym closed down. I was super jealous, super fucking jealous that he had his own gym down the road from where I lived. I went there, I said, can I use your gym, bring some clients here? No, it's my gym, it's only my equipment. And I'm like, wait a minute, if you had 10 trainers in the gym, or me, when you're sleeping or when you're doing whatever, you'll be making money. So that means the dead times, which says dead times in PT, you'll be making money. So you'll maybe keep the place for longer. But this is the thing with the C.H.E.K system, is that, or educational in the fitness industry, when you get so high, your ego blocks you from doing the right thing. Does that make sense? So one of the C.H.E.K practitioners, he was charging 50 quid an hour. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, why are you charging 50 quid an hour? You're making us all look shit. For one, you're making yourself look shit. And two, How are you going to finance that building that you've got if you're only 50 quid an hour when you spend 40k like me on your education? So some, not all, but some C.H.E.K practitioners lack either business skills, sales skills, or self-worth. I have a huge self-worth. So I'm not going to see you for less than, say, £200 an hour, roughly. Now, I knew this other trainer and he was absolutely, completely crap. Got kicked out of the gym and got banned, and he was charging £200 an hour. But that means that he's got cojones that he puts in a dump truck, that he could charge that and BS his way in which to get clients to sign up and pay. But like I always say, you never know how successful somebody is until you see their inland revenue account. So if somebody says to me, like when I was a doorman, the doorman would go, "Oh, I'm doing bodyguarding." I did this for Mick Jagger years ago, right? So I'm doing bodyguarding. Oh, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm really wealthy. Well, show us your business account and show me your tax. Let's see how much tax you pay. Now, I believe, this is how I think, the more tax I pay, the more I love it. Because the more tax I pay, the more successful I am. I don't look at it that I've got to hide it and run away from it. I believe that the more tax you pay, the more successful you are. Does that make sense? But obviously there's loopholes and there's ways around it that you can pay less tax that every business, not every business, but most businesses will do because of, you know, the roads have got holes in and the police are crap and the politicians are terrible and all that type of stuff. But going back to, you know, the 6-year or 5-year study program, it is amazing. It does work. But the cost of it is so high that if you're not 150, 100 an hour, 200 an hour, you're not going to make the fucking money back. So what's the point in doing a 6-year degree, which is not recognised anywhere? You'll get your degree like I did and go to a physio centre. Oh, I'm a C.H.E.K practitioner level 5. What the fuck is that? Or you'll go into the gym and you'll go, when I was walking the floor during COVID of this one gym and working for free, which was fucking terrible, and went up to 50 different members. Have you heard of Paul C.H.E.K? Who's that wanker? I've never heard of wanker, Paul C.H.E.K. Went up to somebody else. You heard of Paul C.H.E.K? No. Heard of Paul C.H.E.K? No. Do you know who Paul C.H.E.K is? No. Heard of Paul C.H.E.K? No. And I'm thinking, what the fuck has happened? And that's when I eventually chatted to Gavin and they said they're not spending money on marketing because they don't want their practitioners to be successful. They want the faculty that don't do it to be successful. But the independent guy that's working for themselves or girl that's put all the time, all the work in, they don't really care. And so that's a bit of a rant tonight, but it's an idea, to give you an idea if you're thinking about doing 6 years. It's a lot of money. And they've recently said, or I heard this on the grapevine, that if you, it's quite funny really. Now, Paul has said he doesn't want to work with personal trainers. He doesn't want personal trainers doing his courses. He wants physios, osteopaths and doctors doing his courses. Well, who built your program, Paul? Who, on a percentage, how many personal trainers you have go to level 5 to physios, doctors and osteopaths? It's not even 1%, is it? It's more personal trainers that are on good money, £3,000 to £4,000 a month, where they can put £1,000 away to spend on the Institute program. So really, you're killing your own program again. It doesn't make any sense to me. And you think that they said about setting up your own therapy centre, set up your own therapy centre and talk to 12 therapists. So osteopaths, doctors, chiropractors, anybody you can, and see if they refer to you. Now, I tried that type of model, and what happens is you send them clients, they send you fuck all. So that's what you got to remember. So that doesn't fucking work neither. So if you're happy to spend 40k and not have any clients and not be advertised for your 40k or be on C.H.E.K Connect that doesn't work, then go ahead, go and do it. But remember, it's tough, it's hard. You've got to put the hours in, you've got to put days in. But I'm very good at sales. I can sell sand to an Arab. If you gave me a ballpoint pen, within 10 minutes, I'd get you buying it off of me. And that's because with the C.H.E.K system, I lived it, walked it and talked it. And that's why it was easy to sell. Whereas I was finding other trainers that are only gone to level 1 or level 2, didn't go any further, didn't even have TVAs that worked properly. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is going on? So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like, please subscribe, and please share. I'm not a pussy. I'm an Einstein dyslexic. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.